Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was a leader who saved Kashmir. He was the only leader who saved Kashmir. It was beginning of November 1947. Extreme wintry condition was gripping the valley. The people of Srinagar could ward off their biting cold by remaining indoors and warming themselves with burning coal in their kangdis under their woolen overalls. But they faced another far worse fate. 4 miles outside the city limits, the Pakistani-backed tribal raiders were amassing for their final assault. People shivered with fear, awaiting with certainty that the fate that had befallen Baramulla a few days earlier, large-scale looting, indiscriminate burning, brutal murder and rape of innocent women, all the victims were afraid. Confident of the capture of Srinagar, Jinnah was at Abbottabad, expecting to ride in triumph into Kashmir. A personally outraged Sheikh Abdullah felt tormented by ancestral recollections of the previous incursions up the same route. Was history repeating itself? It would have, but for Patel's timely help. At such a critical moment in Kashmir's history, Patel arrived in Srinagar on 4th November to save the people from the ordeal they faced. He had brought with him the Defence Minister Baldev Singh so that his decisions could be given effect without any delay. The journey was hazardous, weather was cruel, conditions could deteriorate due to visibility which was very poor. The plane could have moved into Pakistan territory. The air passage between Jammu and Kashmir was so narrow, consequences could have been very serious. However, the landing was safe and Patel immediately plunged into the job for which he had come, to assess the military requirements of the army. Conflicting reports from the valley had confounded. Patel moved to the control room for a briefing by Brigadier L.P. Sen, in charge of the 161 Brigade engaged in the operations. Sen had an interesting story to tell. Sardar Patel had closed his eyes soon after I had begun briefing, and I assumed that he was feeling the effects of air journey and had fallen asleep. The briefing completed, I looked at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and also Sardar Baldev Singh and asked him a direct question. Am I expected to eject the tribesmen from the valley regardless of the fate that may befall Srinagar, or is the town to be saved? Sardar Patel stirred. The tiger had not been sleeping. He had heard every word of the briefing. A strong and determined man, and in one word he said, "Of course, Srinagar must be saved." He snapped. "Then I must have more troops, and very quickly. Some artillery as well. I'm returning to Delhi immediately," he said, "and you will get what you want as quickly as I can get them to you." That evening I got a message. 2 battalions of infantry, 1 squadron of armored cars and a battery of field artillery were being dispatched to the valley by road. Sardar had lived up to his reputation as a man of action, and thus Srinagar and the valley was saved from falling into the hands of the raiders. This was an embodiment of strength, action, and achievement for which Sardar will always be remembered.